Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Look who we have.
Hello.
Kitty and
Kitty, Liz.
Liz. Um, Welcome to some good booze. That's the new name for this program. Some good booze,
Rebrand.
where we talk about good news, inspiring stories, and make some great cocktails. I'm Jonathan Pogash. Liz Smith is right down there from the Cocktail Guru team. And there is Kitty from the Cocktail Guru team also. What's new, guys? How are you feeling? How's everything going?
Every day is a different experience, but I'm good today. So I've spent part of my day doing some baking.
Ooh. That is some good news. That is some really good news.
Yeah. So we're doing some care packages, me and a girlfriend of mine. So you'll see my Uncle Nearest is getting a little low. Fortunately, I have plenty more. But yeah, so that's been really fun. It's like a little extra project to do.
Are you doing care packages to bring to local Boston bartenders?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. And I think, well, I don't want to ruin the surprise, but I might be somewhere near southeastern Massachusetts. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. And Liz, how are you doing? Do you have any good news for us today?
Today's my best friend's birthday. That's good, right?
What's their name?
Her name's Sarah.
Sarah, happy birthday, Sarah.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Sarah.
Aries season, full in swing, man. Full in swing.
Oh
yeah.
Big Aries energy.
I don't know any of that stuff, and you guys probably know what I am already, and you're probably like, whoa. I'm a Scorpio.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right, Liz is too, that's right.
I'm a Virgo.
I was like, I'm pretty sure Kitty's a Virgo.
That's right. That's exactly right.
That's why your bar is organized so well.
Oh, yeah. That's always how it looks. I never, ever stage it for things like video chats.
No. This is like this all of the time.
Yeah. It is.
No, not really.
No. I feel like it was when I saw it.
Ish. Should we make some cocktails?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Liz, do you want to make your cocktail?
Sure.
Let's do it. What do you have?
So my bar is a little bit, I'm trying to use things that are just on my home bar, and my home bar is kind of a collection of like a mismatch thing. I had no plan when I built it. So a lot of it is just like random bottles I picked up, 7 bottles of tequila in Mexico, things that like sponsors have sent me. And this year through Speed Rack, Seedlip was one of our sponsors. And they sent me 3 full bottles of their products to try out. So I'm super excited about that. Kind of like non-alcoholic or like low ABV, like cocktail movement. It's definitely a big thing and something that I always try to look out for. I still drink, but I have a lot of friends who don't. So I always like to try to like make sure I'm doing my best to make them feel comfortable too. So I toyed around with trying to doing like a non-alcoholic espresso martini, but you're like, isn't that just kind of like a nice latte? Kind of. But sometimes you still want to like have that feeling, and it's more of like getting after that, like the flavors and like the different textures that you get when you're drinking a cocktail.
Cool.
So to start off with, I made some cold brew coffee. Not cold brew, but I took my French press and then I put it in the fridge to try to make the coffee flavor be a little bit stronger. I brewed it at double the amount of strength I would have, just because once something is cold, the flavor doesn't come through as much.
Yeah.
The base of that is going to be 2 ounces of this cold brew coffee here.
Is it any particular roastery?
This was something from Whole Foods, but I prefer a darker roast for things that I'm gonna like add things to. I'm gonna be making mine like sort of like faux creamy, so I think that something that's a darker roast tends to lend better to adding cream and like different sugars to it. Light roasts are more usually like better done on their own. So I mixed 2 different seed lips. So this one is their citrus one, their Grow 42. So it kind of adds like a little bit of, almost like mandarin orange, different kind of citrus thing. So I'm going to do a 1/2 ounce of that guy. And then to do a sort of like spicy quality, they make this spice one too. So this one tastes like allspice, like star anise, that sort of thing going on. Do a ½ ounce of that guy too. I usually like mine dark, but I'm feeling a little like creamy. Fortunately, Jerry and I aren't friends anymore, but I do have this like almond milk creamer stuff. This stuff is pretty thick, and it does have sweetness to it, so I account for that when I'm adding a little bit more sugar. So I'm just gonna do a ½ ounce of that bad boy. She's real thick. And then to sort of finish it off, I made a rich vanilla simple syrup. And by rich, when you think about your normal ratios of simple syrup, like 1:1, I did 2 parts sugar to 1 part water. I wanted to do this because normally when you think about espresso martini, you have a coffee liqueur or something that has sugar and has viscosity to it. And none of this, besides the creamer that we've added so far, has any of that. The seed lips are like distillates basically, so they're really light, really watery and delicious, but they don't have any mouthfeel to them. So I'm actually going to add in a ½ ounce of this guy. You can see it's kind of thick too.
Is that did you use vanilla beans or vanilla extract?
So I did turbinado sugar, and then sugar I had this Mexican vanilla bean extract I have hanging around. So then once I did that, once it's a little bit cooler, I then add the extract to it so I don't lose any of the flavor. So it kind of made like a vanilla simple syrup.
Cool.
So we got this ice. Gonna ice it down. Clearly don't have any nice. I don't have any like super nice ice in my freezer, but hey, any ice do it.
That's okay.
Give it a really hard shake.
Yay!
Always round of applause when you see people shaking.
Very exciting.
It's not a good espresso martini if it doesn't have like a lot of foam on top.
Oh yeah, that crema. It's all about that crema.
Ooh. Look at that.
Yeah. So how many beans are, because I grind my coffee at the store because I have a French press. But I got some like nutmeg and got this piece of paper here. So I can just kind of like zest some nutmeg on top of it and only do like half to make it look real nice. And that will give me like a really clean line because I used a piece of beef for it.
Oh, I love it.
Nice. I'm going to go ahead and just grab that.
Maybe this is what you go for when you're like, got that 3 o'clock feeling and you need a little kick of coffee, but you're still trying to be good even though you're working from home.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, Liz. Kitty, what do you have for us?
What am I making? I'm making a red hook today.
Oh yeah, cool. Named after the neighborhood in Brooklyn.
Neighborhood in Brooklyn, yes. So I'm gonna just walk over to my home bar right over here, which is always set up so perfectly. As you'll see, you'll get a nice view of my quarantine caftan. Super elegant. So I'm using Uncle Nearest today. So the red hook usually is made with rye whiskey, but I don't have any, so I'm working with what I have.
You use what you have.
You use what you have, yeah, exactly. So Uncle Nearest is a brand that Cocktail Guru works with on occasion, and one that I work with too. It's been really fun to work with them. So we'll start off with our Uncle Nearest whiskey, 2 ounces. This is like funny to do side bartending. I feel like you probably have to do this a lot, Jonathan. You do like TV?
Yes, I do TV. I do TV.
Yeah, so maybe you have to do.
Well, yeah, from the side. Yeah, it is it's a little awkward to kind of do it from the side, right?
That's weird. That's okay.
But it's fine.
It's fine.
You're cheating. You cheat yourself out a little bit, right? Like.
How about the angles? Does the light hit my face right?
Next ingredient I'm going to use is Luxardo Maraschino liqueur, which is my favorite Maraschino, and that's another brand that we work with a lot with Cocktail Guru. They've been awesome for our events. So the portions are 2 parts of the brown spirit, and then half of the liqueur, and then I also have Punta Mace, which is a bitter vermouth.
Mm-hmm.
I actually used to work for this company, of course, owned by Charlie Branco, which also supports a lot of our work. Punta Mesa is pretty cool. So it's considered Punta Mesa is local slang for a point and a half. So if you want to think about how this would differ from other vermouths, you would think about it being 1 point sweet and half a point bitter. So it's kind of like a bitter vermouth.
Right. Yeah.
It's exactly a bitter vermouth. Good. So it's 2 half-half.
2 half-half.
Yeah.
Got it. In here.
For whatever reason, I put this in a different shaker tin. My boyfriend, I have a beautiful vintage martini shaker that I was going to present my ice with, but my boyfriend uses it to drink out of, and I think why not? Just drinking out of a martini pitcher.
It's a very classy way to drink.
You know. And we'll give it a good stir. How long am I supposed to be stirring, Jonathan? Is it?
Oh.
Happy birthday.
I always say 16 Mississippis.
16 Mississippis.
Which is very different. 1 Mississippi is not 1 second, not equivalent to 1 second.
Oh, interesting.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, and so on and so forth.
Really good, right?
Yeah, I think that's good.
Ordinarily, this gets finished with a maraschino cherry, but I have some, but I'm not sure how fresh they are. How do you know?
Oh, okay.
Do they last for like? You know,
I have some over here, so we can pretend.
Yeah, let's pretend. Okay. I made this in a beautiful. I actually forgot to check the build on this, but I made this in a vintage cocktail glass. So I like to
nice.
stuff. You do too. I think any nerd does. But I thought so. Anybody who's looking to class up, I actually you can find them often. Like sometimes, like one. What do they say? One person's trash is another person's treasure. So I got a whole set of like vintage cocktail glasses from my boyfriend's boss, who was cleaning out his great aunt's basement or something like that. So I China and
Score.
Yeah. So anytime you guys come over, you can have whatever you want out of whatever cool little glass.
Nice. I hope that's very soon.
Sure.
Thank you, Kitty.
Mm-hmm.
How about I make you